I sing my song, sing my song. I sing my song into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy. I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy. I dance my joy into the world. I live in peace, I live in peace. I live in peace into the world. I live in peace, I live in peace. I live in peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace. To the world, I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world, 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 into the world.
Good morning. Good morning. We acknowledge Gino and Linda for that great music at the beginning. So welcome to Universal Spirit Center. I'm Kevin Busey, and I have the great joy of being the spiritual leader for our community. And I want to welcome any of you who tune in from around the world. Please know that you are welcomed in our community, and we're so glad that you tune in from across wherever you are. And for any of you who are new with us, we also welcome you. Thank you for joining in, and obviously for our own members and congregants and people who periodically visit us, a warm welcome to you. So last night we began the energies, the celebration of Passover. And so I want to just extend a very happy Passover for all of our congregants and members and all of our visitors and all of the Jewish faith individuals who celebrate Passover. It's a great feast to move from the experience of bondage to the experience of freedom. So happy Passover, as well as it's Palm Sunday. So Passover is a great framing for the journey of Palm Sunday. So happy Palm Sunday, everyone. And we're glad that you're with us on this Palm Sunday. So I invite you to just, wherever you are, whoever you are, just know that you are welcomed. Just feel welcomed. Taking a deep breath. And let's let Gino once more and Linda sing and play for us.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, hammer in the evening, all over this land. I would hammer out danger, and I'd hammer out a warning. I hammer out the love between brother and sisters all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, ring it in the evening, all over this land. I would ring out danger. Ooh, the love between everybody all over this land. Woo! If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, sing it in the evening, all over this beautiful land. I would sing out danger, and I'd sing out a warning. I sing out the love between black and white all over this land. If I had a spammer, I'd hammer every morning, hammer in the evening, all over the land. I would hammer out racism, and I'd hammer out a warning. I hammer out the love between everybody all over this land. All over this land. I'm gonna ring my bell. I'm gonna sing my song all over this land. All over this land. I'm gonna ring my bell all over this land. All over this, all over this big beautiful land. Oh.
Gina Walker and Linda Ely. My voice feels hoarse after that song. So what awesome. Thank you very much, Gino and Linda, for that beautiful song. I want to welcome all of you who just tuned in. I'm Kevin Busey. Welcome to Universal Spirit Center. Happy Passover. Happy Palm Sunday to all of you. So this is Women's History Month, and so if you were here earlier and you saw all of our slides, we acknowledge all of the powerful women in history as well as all of the powerful women in our community. So I want to acknowledge that. Also, speaking of powerful women, I want to acknowledge Christine Thompson, who was our guest speaker last week, who gave a very inspiring, heartfelt message. Really appreciate when people in our own community can step forward and inspire us all on Sunday. So thank you, Christine, for that. So we come to you in 3 different platforms. We come to you through Facebook. So like us and share us on Facebook. If you feel inspired by our gatherings, uplifted, it's a great way to spread that out into the world by sharing us on Facebook. If you join us on YouTube, please like us on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube, because we have a whole lot of events that happen during the week that could come to you through YouTube. Also, we come to you through our website, a live stream through our website. So welcome all of you for that. So today we have a very special event in our community. If you've been tuning in this month, you know that all month is our Conscious Giving Month, where we simply ask you to let us know what you're going to be supporting us with financially this year, so that we could create a sound budget that empowers us to be in integrity throughout the year. So this Sunday concludes that experience, and so we're having a drive-through in Balboa Park where you could bring your pledge card, or if you've sent it in, you could just come by and say hey. And then we have a brief little ceremony. You don't have to get out of your car. You don't have to take off your mask. You will just drive by, see us, and we would love to see you drive through that place in Balboa Park. So let me tell you where it is. Off 6th, you turn onto Laurel. which goes into the park. Turn into Laurel, which goes into the park. And the first right you make a right. If you're familiar with that area, that's right where Dog Park is. You make a right and you go all the way down. There's a stop sign. Stop at the stop sign. You should see one of our folks there, maybe Chris or Barb. Say hey to them, and they'll direct you all the way through. You go all the way through the cul-de-sac, and we'll be at the tip of the cul-de-sac. Okay, hope to see you there. I'll be there at 12 o'clock. We'll be there from 12 to 1:30. Okay, wanted to let you know about that. And we mentioned the first 50 people who have given their pledge cards in, their conscious giving cards, we're having a free concert for you, live and in person. So we're really excited about that. However, we are pushing the date to sometime in the summer where we could officially meet. So we will keep you informed as to when that date is. It's going to happen. We just want to make sure that when it happens, we're all going to be able to join in safely. This Friday is Good Friday. And so at 6:30, Gino and myself and Dana Massa will come together and create a sacred ceremony. It's only going to be a half hour, 40 minutes, but I invite you to come. It's going to be a ceremony of letting go, a ceremony of entering into the sacred space that this week is really all about. So you could join us again through Facebook, YouTube, or through our website. So I wanted to let you know about that. What else? Oh my gosh, I think that's it for my announcements. So, and we have in the studio today, first time ever, we have Donna Girardi in the studio with us, so we're really glad about that. So she has announcements for you, and then she will be our prayer practitioner. Donna Girardi, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Reverend Kevin. It's so exciting to actually physically be in this building. It's been a whole year since I've been here. So I'm welcoming all of you this morning, wherever you are, to this amazing community called Universal Spirit Center. So our announcements begin with our Racial Equality Project Action of the Week. And so this week we're focusing on the racism and sexism against Asian women, which yields, as we all know, very deadly results. This dehumanization creates a climate that makes violence excusable. 41 to 61% of Asian women report experiencing physical and or sexual violence by an intimate partner during their lifetime. This is significantly higher than any other ethnic group. The reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act is currently before the House. Please go to Universal Spirit Center's website and follow the link for our Racial Equality Project to take action to encourage the House to pass this reauthorization. And this coming Wednesday, we have our beloved Zena Kacha, who's a practitioner here at our center, as well as a ministerial intern. Zena has this amazing quality to combine science of mind philosophy with the heart of the Sufi path, in addition to her affinity for bringing the Christ consciousness into a fresh perspective, a fresh interspiritual perspective. So please join Zena this Wednesday, March 31st at 6:30. The title of her talk will be The Re-Emerging Divine Feminine. And my final announcement for this morning is that our wonderful Lee Armentrout is facilitating a book study for 5 Mondays beginning April 12th at 6:30 on Zoom. And he is using the book Living the Science of Mind. Many of us know the book The Science of Mind, but this one is Living the Science of Mind, which has these amazing essays that work quite well for a book study. So please join Lee for an amazing class. It's offered by Love Offering, and you can look at our website, universalspiritcenter.org, under classes to register for this class. Thank you.
So we've lit our memorial candle this morning for, I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't have a headset on, so I forgot to pick up the mic. So we have our memorial candle lit this morning for all of the violence that we're experiencing right now in the world, for the experience of Asian women and the violence that they experience, for the shooting in Boulder and the 10 people who lost their lives to the shooting. And for the experience that's happening in Myanmar, where protesters are being shot by police. So I was at an interfaith prayer rally this last week, and there was a rabbi who was speaking about the violence, and she said a couple things that struck me. The first thing that she said was, when God looked at Adam, God said, "It is not right for human beings to be alone." So God created Eve for companionship, for intimacy. But then I started thinking about it, and I was thinking the second generation between Cain and Abel, there was violence when Cain killed Abel. So that cycle of violence, it's always been with us. And so as I was at this prayer vigil, they had about 5 Asian and Pacific Islander women who shared their stories. And I thought it was so powerful to hear their stories. To hear their stories of their own struggle around racism, their own struggle about being Asian women or Pacific Islander women in our culture. And my heart just felt for them. And it felt for all of those people who feel they don't belong or don't fit in. And I just thought there is such power in telling our story and to have someone listen to our story. That right there breaks through the cycle of violence. So I ask you to consider, whose story are you being asked to listen to? And I'm going to invite us to take a deep breath. I'm going to invite you to place your hands over your heart and hold in your spacious, huge heart all of those who have an experience of violence. Let us know that there is a force, a power that is stronger than violence. It's to be connected. It's to be intimate. It's to be together in peace. So we call forth within ourselves, between us, and upon our planet, an experience of peace. An experience which this season calls for of letting go. And so we allow ourselves to be surrounded by love.
Oh, sweet love surrounds me now. Love, sweet love, calms the room. Love, sweet love, surround me now. Love is the only truth. Love is the only truth. Love, sweet love, surround me now. Love, sweet love, calm the room. Love, sweet love, surround me now. Love is the only truth. Love is the only truth.
And so now I just invite you to stay in this sweet space, keeping your eyes closed, perhaps taking another centering breath. As we go into our time of meditation, I'll share the reading, then we'll have 2 minutes of silence, and I'll bring us out of that with a prayer. The reading today is by Rainer Maria Rilke, and this is a beautiful poem. All creation holds its breath, listening with me, because to hear you, I keep silent. At my senses' horizon, you appear hesitantly, like scattered islands. Yet standing here, peering out, I'm all the time seen by you. Knowing that the divine presence moves through all things, sees all things, expresses itself as all things. I know that that experience of divine love is here in Universal Spirit Center this morning so mightily, reaching across the ethers to everyone who is viewing us wherever you are in the world, and binding us all together with love and joy and peace that only God can do. So I'm so grateful this morning for the way that Spirit has moved through this gathering, allowing the beautiful music from Gino and Linda, enabling Corey to do his magic, and Rich to keep us informed, and most especially the way that the divine presence moves through Reverend Kevin as wisdom, as grace, as blessing on each of our lives. So I know that we simply open to this experience of wisdom and of grace and of blessing individually and collectively, and allow ourselves to receive in full measure. And so knowing all of this to be true, I turn the rest of this time into Spirit's hands. And so it is.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. In my hour of darkness, Spirit flows through me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Ooh, let it be, let it be, let it be, just let it be. There is an answer, let it be. When the broken-hearted people in this world all agree that there is an answer, to let it be. Although they may be broken-hearted, if we could all agree, Spirit is the answer, to let it be. Ooh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There is an answer, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Words of wisdom, let it be. Right now, let it be, come on. Let it be, let it be. There is an answer, let it be. Just let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Oh, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let the Spirit within you, let it flow through you, and let it be.
Gino and Linda, thank you very much for that. You know, that is a perfect song for today. As Gino was singing, it reminded me of the sacred scripture, the Hindu sacred scripture, which is the Bhagavad Gita. It's one of the most well-read Hindu scriptures that there is on the planet, and it was Gandhi's favorite scripture verse. And the whole message of the Bhagavad Gita, the whole message can be summed up in 2 words. Let go. Let go. And that's the message of today's story. Let go. I talked earlier this morning about the power of story. And, you know, story assists us in opening our hearts and in connecting with others. And there's a story that wants to be told this morning. And it's a universal story. It's the same story that Muhammad and Buddha and Krishna's Arjuna and Mother Mary and Moses all lived. And it's your and my story if we let it be. It's yours and my story. We individualize it. We personalize it. if we choose this story. And the story is about a journey. It's about a journey to move from the isolation or the disillusionment, the separateness, the conditional, the surface living, into unconditional love, into the experience of unity, into the experience of divine vibration, into the experience of God's love. So not everyone takes this journey, but it's the call upon our souls, to open to the experience of infinite love. So as I said, this story is told by all spiritual traditions because it's a universal story. But this week it becomes personal, because this week it's the story of Jesus' last week on earth. And what happens in this week is we see the archetype of significant points in this universal story made personal. I hope that makes sense. So maybe as I start talking about it, you will understand what I'm saying. So the backdrop is Passover. It's the backdrop, right? It's the movement from bondage into freedom. That's our call. That's our call. That's your call. That's my call. That's the call upon every human being. And so the story starts on Palm Sunday, which we celebrate today, where Jesus rides into Jerusalem. Now, a couple significant things about this. Jesus goes into Jerusalem, even though he knows that there's trouble brewing for him from the political and the religious leaders. He still rides right into Jerusalem. He rides into Jerusalem to celebrate Passover because he was a good Jew. And good Jews celebrated Passover in those days in Jerusalem. Metaphysically, Jerusalem meets the heart. So it's really, metaphysically, it's our journey. It's our journey that starts on Palm Sunday. It's our journey into our own heart. So that's the story. And through this week, there'll be experiences and traumas and stresses, just like in our own lives, where we need to move through stuck feelings or emotions or anger or guilt into the depth of our own hearts. So what's interesting to me about Palm Sunday is this. The Jewish people that were there in Jerusalem, most of the people that heard about Jesus and really expected Jesus to come into Jerusalem and be made king. Because he was their savior, right? He was the Messiah. He was going to overthrow the Romans, which occupied Jerusalem. He was going to overthrow the Romans and be made king and set up a rule of peace. Right? So they were excited about it. They were excited that he was going to come in and somehow magically take over the throne and become king. They cheered him. They laid palm branches down to welcome him. It was a big deal on that Sunday because finally their captives would be overturned. That's a big deal, right? But Jesus' message isn't an external one. It's an internal one. And it was misunderstood. And they had these expectations and they had these hopes that were not realized. Right? And that's you and me. How many times did you and I think that if we just got this certain career or made this certain money or got this certain house or got this certain relationship, that we would be safe? That we would be saved. It's that dynamic of looking to the outside of ourselves for salvation. And as you and I start this journey into the heart, as you and I move from a sense of disenfranchisement into divine unity, one of the first things we have to do is give up those expectations that someone out there or something out there is going to save us. That's kind of the first stage. I always think of Palm Sunday as the shattering of expectations. And then kind of the second stage or the second point we come into, and I call this whole week or this whole process I'm going through this morning is the initiation of the soul. The second experience that happens is that Jesus is betrayed. And it's interesting, right? Because we aren't betrayed by our enemies, right? Because we're protected against them. We're betrayed by someone who we break bread with, who we're intimate with, who we have shared secrets with, right? That's where betrayal happens. And I don't know that there's anything that brings us or has brought me to my knees to such a degree as the experience of betrayal, right? But betrayal can be a powerful spiritual process, because really the true spiritual meaning of betrayal is simply that we've placed our power or our trust in someone or something that wasn't worthy of it, and that we need to draw it back. We need to call it back. So as you and I work through the betrayals of our lives, it's really about an awareness or understanding that the betrayal is actually a threshold where you and I call back our own authority. That you and I come more deeply into the experience of being authentic and being real and calling our voice home. It's a necessary process in this initiation of the soul. And then what we could do is we could look at those who betrayed us as angels in disguise, because they simply pointed out where we gave our power away. So that's kind of the second stage in this process. So this third stage, and it comes upon in the Last Supper, right? And the Last Supper is about communion. It's about intimacy. It's about connection. It's about this idea that Jesus gathered his disciples on his last night of earth to commune with them, to be intimate with them. So I think the Last Supper in this process of initiation offers us a great question, and it's this: who are we intimate with? Who really has our back? Who really is my tribe? Who's my support system? Who can I trust? Because we deepen into this process of the initiation of the soul, it's important to know who and what nurtures us. At the end of the day, where do we place our trust? Who or what sources us? I think this is the message of the Last Supper. It's important to know that. It's important to feed those places and those relationships. I think there's a second question in this Last Supper for us, this Last Supper experience for us, and it's this: who do you live your life for? What do you live your life for? What would you give your life over to? What would you give up your life for? It's like, what's the ultimate thing about your life? Those are the questions of the Last Supper. And they're important questions for us to ask ourselves. What are we living for? What are we willing to die for? It puts us in right relationship with our soul's call. So then we have the fourth event. Jesus has a pretty busy week this week. We have a fourth event, and it's the agony in the garden. It's when Jesus hits rock bottom. It's when there's nowhere else to turn but the divine. It's an experience where he's scared, where he's anxious, where he's confused, where he doesn't want to go through with what's before him. And haven't we all experienced that? Haven't we all experienced that? Rock bottom. And people in recovery will say, it's a powerful place to be. Because it's the turning point. It's the turning point. Doesn't get any worse than that point. And what Jesus says at the end is, may the greater will, the divine will, happen through me. So Jesus has gone through these 4 points as an archetype of ultimate surrender, right? So we have the releasing of our expectations. We have the betrayal where we call back our voice. We have the experience of who are my companions. We have the experience of hitting rock bottom. And then the final dynamic of this week is the death of Jesus, which really is the ultimate letting go. What is that thing in your life, or that relationship, or that belief, or that behavior that is preventing you from moving on, from growing, from expanding, from being more the authentic person that you were born to be? What is that? Good Friday is about letting go of those things that keep us in bondage. It's not an easy thing. It's those things, though, that we hold on with tight white knuckles, and we got to try to pry our fingers from. It's those things, or those relationships, or those beliefs. What are you called to release? To become more your expanded self. And then as that release happens, there's a 6th point that happens that week. And it's this: Jesus has lied in the tomb. It's still. It's dark. It's away from the noise. It's not a place where dead things are. I think it's a deep place of integrating the call on our lives, integrating the anxiety, integrating the letting go, the release, integrating in such a way that a new self can rise up. So this story that happens today, it happens and it completes without an ending, because the ending happens next Sunday. It happens next Sunday. So we're entering into a really sacred week. We really are. I invite you to pause, to get still, to enter the stillness of your own soul, or the spaciousness of your own soul. And I have some questions that I'm going to invite you to consider this week. And they're questions that would assist you in the initiation of your own soul. And we're going to put those on the screen for you in a minute. But the first question is, what hopes and dreams and expectations have you had to let go of, or you need to let go of? What are those hopes and dreams and expectations that just cause anxiety in you? Let them go. Be with the feelings that come around this, but maybe it's time to just release. Just let it be. The second series of questions is, how have you been betrayed? Who's betrayed you? What's betrayed you? Be with that experience. And is there a place in these betrayals where it's time now to call back your own voice, your own authority, your own power? And I will tell you, the degree that you're able to do this, the degree that I'm able to do this, is the degree we're able to bless and release the betrayer from our lives. We don't have to keep that story going. We could realize they're an angel in disguise and bless them and release them. So be with that question. Be with that energy. So the third question, or the third set of questions that I ask you this week is, what nurtures you? Who nurtures you? What sources you? Who are the intimates in your life, the place where you would come home to, the place where you trust, the people that you trust, and nurture those ties, nurture those relationships. And then the second question in this series is, who or what did you give your life over to? What would you be willing, or who would you be willing to die for? This is a way to align us with our own priorities. And then the next set of questions are, what beliefs? We're always asking this in religious science because it is so important. What beliefs, what defeating behaviors, what relationships, what jobs, what homes need to be released? What is preventing you, or who is preventing you from stepping more fully into your authentic self? Get really clear. This is the week to do that. In fact, come Friday to our Good Friday gathering, and we'll address this. It's a great night. It's a great evening to get clear on what needs to be let go of. And then I'm going to add a fifth question, which isn't on here because I only thought of it this morning. But it's this: where's this stillness or spaciousness in your life? Get familiar, get comfortable with those places, those times in your life where there's stillness and spaciousness, and be there. And if there aren't those places, if your life is so busy and there's so much noise, create sacred space. Create stillness in your life so that which is new, which is within you, that is wanting to rise up, that it can. So I know for you a sacred Holy Week, that together and individually we journey into this week with the intention of letting go of separation, letting go of isolation, and stepping into the unified field, stepping more fully into God's love. So that's the invitation of this week. So I invite you right now, just take a deep breath in. Go ahead and close your eyes. And let the music that is being played move through you. And breathe right into your heart. And just know that now and this week there are energies all around us. There are beings all around us that support us in moving into an open heart. And so we let go. We let it be. And we let go into the spaciousness of an open heart.
Trust God that love is everywhere, that we are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. Trust love, trust love, trust God that love is everywhere, that we are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. No one ever loses when one trusts love. To love is to live without fear. The essence of the Spirit that loves and gives is willing. It knows the truth and ways when appearance don't show it. Love is not, love is renewed. Yes, love is renewed. Love is a healer. Oh, yes, it is. Love loves to love. Love loves to love. And I'll keep on being love. And we'll keep on being love. This is the only way. So trust love, trust love, trust God that love is everywhere, that we are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. No one ever loses when one trusts love. For love is something that will never fail. Oh, the Spirit of the essence. And know that God is listening, that no matter what is happening, the truth. Love is the beginning. Love is the healing. Love is a healer. Come through. Love is the healing. And we'll keep on believing. So trust love, lean on love, trust God that love is everywhere, for we are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. We are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. Love will have the final word.
Good morning. It's time for Conscious Giving. And first, let's give a round of applause to Gino Walker, yes, and Linda. And the crowd goes wild, yes. So I'm Rich Oseguera. I'm a proud member of Universal Spirit Center. I'm a volunteer on the production team behind the scenes here. And I'm also really proud to say I'm on the steering committee for the Racial Equality Project, which you've heard about many times already today, and every week if you're paying attention. And so, you know, one of the core reasons that I love being a part of Universal Spirit Center is because of the diversity and the inclusion, the spirit of diversity that is embedded in everything that we do. Everyone is welcome here, regardless of your skin color, what country you come from, your sexual or gender identity, or even the spiritual beliefs that you have. Everyone is welcome here. And we truly are a tapestry, a beautiful tapestry coming together for the purpose of forging community and walking along this path of awakening that Rev Kev has been talking about today. So I'm honored to share a few accomplishments that we have made over this last year through the Racial Equality Project initiative, which was formed last year after the murder of George Floyd and so many other Black Americans in this country. And we wanted to create a way to bring more awareness to the injustices that permeate our society and our systems of government in this country and around the world, quite frankly. So every week we have a weekly action. We sit around and come up with ideas for you so that you can learn how you can understand the effects of systemic racism and, more importantly, what you, yes, you, could do about affecting change. And, you know, in the last year, we've facilitated book studies. We have a monthly movie of the month, and then a forum where you can chat about what you learned from that movie. We've had guest speakers talking about racism and how you can heal racism in yourself and in our society. And every Wednesday, Gino's kitchen conversations, that she shines a light on the injustices happening in the Black, Indigenous, people of color communities. And now, in light of the rise in hatred towards Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, we are shining a light on that. And you can find out about all of this at the Racial Equality Project page, which is already in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. So click on that. So I'd now like to encourage you to join me in participating in the Tapestry of Us pledge campaign. I have to tell you, when I first started coming to this center about 6 years ago, I wasn't going to share this, but I literally was in a financial situation. I was busted. I would walk on the streets of San Diego hoping I'd find coins and would pick those up because I had to. And I would come to the events here at Universal Spirit Center ashamed that I didn't have much to contribute. And I remember being told by the beautiful leaders of this community that even if I had a penny or a nickel, it wasn't the amount, it was the act, the commitment, the commitment to my belief in prosperity, that by putting that in towards the work of this center, it wasn't about the center, it was about the symbolism to the universe that I was willing to give so that I could receive, even if it was a penny. Now, things have changed greatly for me since that time, and I am really blessed to be able to say that I've come a long way. I still find coins on the floor, And I say, thank you. Thank you for this reminder of where I've been. And I say this story because someone out there might be in that same position, feeling like, well, who am I to pledge? I don't have anything to give. Well, even if that's you, I invite you to just think about the power of the intention of giving. And that's what this is. It's a pledge. It's you saying, I intend to contribute to this community because I want to see it grow. I want to see the work expand. And I want to help well beyond the confines of Universal Spirit Center because that's what your commitment does. There are 3 ways for you to make a pledge. You can go online to universalspiritcenter.org. At the very top of the website, it says, click here, and you can find exactly how you can give online. You can also send in, we sent you an envelope with an old-fashioned stamp on it. If you have that, you can mail it in and do it that way, not a problem. Or if you want to do it the really fun way today, if you happen to be in San Diego, you can drive to Balboa Park through the Laurel entrance, and Rev Kev gave the instructions earlier. They're also on our website. So just click at the very top of the homepage of the website. There's a map, there's instructions. It's very easy, and you can find us there in the cul-de-sac. Bring in your pledge card, and also you received a blank card. I have to do some homework before 12 to fill that in. And you can contribute that there, get a picture with Rev Kev, and there's a gift that you're going to receive as well. And for the first 50 people who turn in their pledge cards, you will receive a ticket to a concert this summer with the fabulous Gino Walker, our band, and some other special guest artists. I think that's what I was told. So if not, there will be special guest artists now. All right. So I just want to thank you for thinking of contributing. For those of you who already have made that pledge, thank you. Those of you who maybe are in that situation that I was, make a pledge. Even, I swear, anything that you put on that card is not about the center. It's about you saying, I believe in myself enough that I know that abundance is coming my way. So thank you so much, and I'm so grateful to Universal Spirit Center for everything that you do and for the opportunity to be a part of this community. Thank you.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your peace. When I wake up in the morning, flow through me as I open throughout my day. Spirit, flow through me.
Thank you, Gino and Linda. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us this morning. A special thank you for all of you who join us from other parts of the globe. We're glad that you're with us. Those who join us for the first time, come back next week. For members and congregants of Universal Spirit Center, thank you so much for being here. I want to give a special shout out to Gino for the awesome things she does here at our center, for singing this morning, as well as she hosts, as Rich said, she hosts Kitchen Conversations, which are simply people telling their story. And so it's a great way to really connect with folks and seeing all the stuff that racism, how people suffer from racism. Linda Ely, thank you for joining us. You know, it's been a year since I've seen Donna Girardi. I've seen her on Zoom, but in person. So we're so glad that, Donna, so glad you're here. Thank you for your inspiration. Rich Osigera, wasn't he great? Very great. Thank you, Rich. And he's volunteers here every other Sunday behind the computer. And our own very loved Corey. Thank you, Corey. He makes it all happen. So thank you for joining us. I wish you a powerful week, a powerful sacred week. So let's take a breath in as we begin this week. Go ahead and close your eyes. Go ahead and place your hands over your heart. And hear the call. Hear the call to let go, to let it be, and to enter in the spaciousness of your own heart. Because in entering this spaciousness and entering this stillness, we will experience God's love. So we journey forth from that which is within us, which is false or based on illusion, and we move into the power of our own hearts. So join with me in knowing this as we say together. And so it is.
So it is.
Have a blessed, sacred week, everyone. Hope to see those of you in San Diego at noon, between noon and 1:30 in Balboa Park. Blessings and peace. Be safe.
Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your Spirit flow. When I wake up in the morning, on my way to Balboa Park, flow. Spirit flow. Spirit flow through me. I'll open up, I open up, I open up. Yeah. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your always unfolding love.